Today we'll be discussing topics of math identity with the focus of breaking barriers and building brilliance in our students. My foundational research concluded that girls do in fact experience higher trait-based math anxiety than their male peers, this being tied to their overall beliefs in their competency in mathematics, as well as in elementary age children with math anxious parents. If they were helped with their math homework frequently by those math anxious parents, they were then later to develop and perform worse in math over time. That math anxiety is measurably separate from any other anxiety, such as test anxiety, and does impact math overall as a subject.
Well, I feel like for the most part, my parents were pretty understanding. After a point, they were just like, listen, this one's just not your thing. You can do English, you can do everything else. Math is hard. My dad was a little bit of a hypocrite, I'm not going to lie, because he was always a little tough on me just because he wanted me to do good. I get that. But he was always just a little too tough on me. And I found out later on when I was older that he had failed his college math and also some in high school or something like that. And I was just like, you're failing math, but you're telling me to get better at math? Hypocrite. So him. But he just did it so that maybe I would have a better chance at being good at it. It just happens.
Some context about the culture of math at Western is needed, as the interview and survey results are from math students currently studying at Western Washington University. Western has what are called general university requirements. These are requirements that all students at Western must complete in order to receive their undergraduate degree. This does include a qualitative and symbolic reasoning component, which is important to the overall picture of why students are enrolled in math classes at Western. 75% of those students currently studying math at Western were confident or highly confident in their ability to complete this general university requirement. However, it is important to note that we do leave an additional 25% that are either not confident in their ability or neutral. The ALEX Math Placement Assessment is a standardized test that uses honor lock proctoring software for Western students. This does place them into a variety of disciplines, math being the primary one, but it is used for prerequisites in all different departments across STEM disciplines. The additional context of Math 99 at Western is needed because all interviewees are students in this class currently. They are currently working on their introductory algebra skills, and it is considered a non-college credit course.
But 99 is just, I knew I didn't remember pretty much anything from high school math. I just wanted to get it done with. I didn't take math my senior year because I was just kind of like over it. And I just knew that I had this place, so I didn't take it. And I knew I was going to have to take it again in math, like here, anyways. So I took it and I've been enjoying it so far. I mean, it's work, everyday work, but I do it and I have good grades so far. So I'm proud of myself with that. So my goal is just to make sure I get them all done so I don't have to take them anymore. Not that I hate math, I just don't like school math. I think there's a big difference between the two. And I've never really been very good with school math, even though my teacher has been really great.
Well, I wanted to take Math 99 because I just kind of wanted like a refresher on everything. Also, like I bombed my entrance math thing. So yeah, my professor is Katie Clark, who I absolutely love. She's awesome. I'm pretty sure I did. I think ended up getting placed in like maybe 112 or something like that. But it was yeah. I'm really bad at taking tests. Like standardized tests are like a whole thing. And yeah, well, hopefully financial accounting, which is like a ton of math. So I kind of just need to like refresh and be confident in the basics before I jump to math 12 and then math 14 and like all of that from there. Yeah, just like being confident in that because yeah, not knowing the basic stuff kind of makes everything fall apart, right?
Yeah. So I'm in Math 99 because I did not get a high enough score on my Alex placement test. Um, Part of it, I think, personally, was I do have a math disability, and I wasn't really given the tools I needed for the actual test. So I did worse than I did on my practice. But Math 99 has been great. I love it right now. My teacher is, I believe, Caitlin Clark. and she's great, and I've actually really happy to take this class and build back up. Yeah. I have to take a whole lot more math. I have to get up to calculus and analytical geometry for me, so that's going to be a lot, I think. But yeah, math 99 is my way to so I can start going down to like math 112 and building my way up.
Math anxiety itself is a subject often talked about in research and one that obviously has a prevalence within students at Western Washington University. Take a moment to review the definition of math anxiety as listed on the screen below. Over 50% of survey respondents, which are students currently studying math at Western, reported that they have or had had in the past a form of math anxiety. As part of the survey, students were asked to rank their comfort with math as well as their ability in mathematics. This was a rating out of 5. As you can see, it is significant that students in Math 99 have more confidence in their comfort with mathematics rather than their ability. It is also interesting to be said that it is the opposite, where students believe more in their ability than their comfort in mathematics when they are in a supporting class. So that Math 109 is a supporting class for Math 112 due to low placement.
So my math anxiety is very much I get stumped, and then I either have to take a break, which either works or it doesn't work. For sure, like when I was younger, learning just the basics of math. I remember this poor student assistant teacher, and she was just trying to teach me multiplication like double digits, and we spent about 3 days longer than other kids trying to learn it, just because I was like, why do I have to learn this? Like, why? Like, what's the point of this? But a lot of the younger kids are like, why to everything. But if that was like one thing, I remember her just being so frustrated about it. She was just like, because you have to learn it, and I was just like, oh, okay, I guess. And I did end up being like the top of double multiplication in that class. So, but I still hated it. I feel like I tried very hard, but my grades didn't reflect that. Just because I wasn't met like the way the school does math wasn't how I do math. And she also was very discouraging of anyone doing math other than the way she's doing it. So that made it really hard for me. But it also goes opposite ways because sometimes I feel like I don't get this stuff, but as long as I do the work, I get the grade and I get it done, even if I don't really remember it or like learn it, which I'm pretty sure is how a lot of other students feel about math.
Um, in some ways, I think I have maybe have some form of math anxiety just because when I understand it, like I got it, but like the getting there bit can be sometimes really difficult because my understanding can be a little off. I'm dyslexic. That doesn't really help here. And like I'm on the autism spectrum, right? So sometimes my interpretations of things are a little different from the norm or neurotypical people. Which so is my mom. So she really has taught me like good ways to communicate with my teachers. Well, my professors now who want to help me, and just like how to find resources. Generally, my mom has always been my biggest resource. Like if I'm super confused on something, I will like text her or call her or something. But yeah, now like right now in math, I'm doing great. But sometimes when I look at problems that like are something that completely don't understand and don't understand how to take it apart, then I'm like I can't do it and I'll get upset and it's like a whole thing. But all throughout high school, I would generally be getting good grades. I wouldn't really be understanding it because it was kind of like that was a school that was really easy to skate by on not understanding what was happening, but still being able to perform on like a very small test. It was like an alternative school. My mom taught at it, which is kind of why I went. Um, but yeah, I was generally like a pretty good student overall because that was really important to me. And both my parents are teachers, so it's like can't be failing. Generally, I would say my grade was high, but my understanding would not be high.
Yeah, I think I definitely might have used to have math anxiety. I think I've gotten it over a little bit now. Now that I'm here, just because of the support system, I am getting accommodations, which are I have like so many. It's kind of crazy, and it's been so helpful because it has. I think that's part of the reason why I don't have as much math anxiety as I used to, is because it's just so much easier for me to get help than it was at my high school. So it's like yeah, it definitely reflected because I mean, I wouldn't understand material, and there was no way for me to really do homework. And so I think for a while until senior year, end of junior year, senior year. I think I was a B minus C plus average math student. But like I actually started getting more hands-on help in senior year, and then I figured out, and my grades started.
Now we are going to go into the idea of a math person, or who we are as math people. The screen before you lists the common words associated with a math person at Western. Now let's take the time to review a couple of different quotes from students at Western about who they believe to be a math person. One respondent said, being curious, having a short memory, being comfortable failing, analytical skills, curiosity, love of learning, love of certainty. Another student said, a math person feels confident when learning new math concepts and can quickly apply them in homework and tests. They excel in quote-unquote difficult classes, and math comes easy to them.
I don't think so. I mean, there's a lot going on, like just how society views math. It's a very like punctual, articular thing, and it's something you're either good at or you're not, is what you're told a lot when you're younger and throughout life. But I feel like math is much more casual than that. It's just to help you use tools, like adding stuff so you know how much your groceries are. It's a skill that I think everyone should have. Do I think everyone should have college level math? No, but I think everyone should know at least addition and subtraction.
Like, I don't know, not okay with being a math person, but like am not like worried about it because before, like the people who like I could perceive as like math people were generally like the guys in my class who were like robotics and whatever and like knew everything and were very mansplaining, which like those were like math people. But now it's kind of like it's anyone who like is just kind of understands how to break down something and can help others is generally kind of what I perceive as a math person, is like someone who understands it enough to be able to like help or teach others, even if they don't want to, like they kind of know how to.
I
Yeah.
definitely think when I was younger, it discouraged me a bit. I've been in private school since fourth grade, and the private school kids were all very smart, and they were all very like it was a little scary, and like everyone was really good at math, and I was not. That definitely they were kind of my idea of math person for a while. So that discouraged me all the way up until I would say around like sophomore, junior year of high school. Then I started finding people who were like me, who like yes, they enjoyed math, but they were not very good at it. Um, so I think that kind of encouraged me to like keep working, and knowing that I had a support system was like, oh, I can actually do this now.
Throughout the time of my project, I've come to several different conclusions when it comes to breaking the barriers for mathematics as well as building the brilliance in our students. One, students' math identity is complex and intersectional. This means that students are not just math students, and this may seem self-explanatory, but we bring in our childhood, our parental experiences, our culture of where we grew up, of where we went to school, of how we learn into a math classroom. And these are things that impact the learning that we experience. The second conclusion is that there is such a thing as math culture within public education. The bonding experience of bombing your first Alex tests to the camaraderie you find within your different math sects at Western, those are things that you cannot get back or replicate in other different institutions. My third conclusion is that differentiation is of the utmost importance. Students will be coming into your classroom with learning disabilities, with past trauma related to math anxiety, and it can't be something that is just told, oh, we make mistakes in my classroom. But how are you showing students? How are you setting that culture of making mistakes, of true learning through math, to not feel that failure? And my fourth conclusion, no matter how hard we try, as teachers, as parents, we will always have an impact on our students and how they learn and their experiences with math. My perspective as someone who has done an educational career in math is going to be different from what they're used to, and relating to them and experiencing that with them is critical.